Door! Oh, police! Show me your hands! Show me your hands!
Early in the morning,
What's going on, the people them? It's your boy Cam, Topical Juice, and we are back with another video for you today. As you can see from the title, we are talking about Chris Kaba, the killing of Chris Kaba, but more specifically how his killer, the police officer, got found not guilty of murder yesterday. I kind of want to just jump straight into this video and give you my opinion and go from there. So if you can like the video for me, it will really help this video get pushed out to a wider audience. If you're new here, please consider pressing subscribe, press the bell to be notified, and of course, if you want to support your boy's growth, your boy personally, please click that Patreon link in the description. Outside of that, let's talk about this trigger happy, insecure police officer. Now, this is one of those topics that is very divisive. You can argue it's controversial, and the reason for that is because there's two very different opinions on what transpired that night. You've got people like me who believe that the killing of Chris Kaba was unjustified, it was unfair, and it was unlawful. And then you have the other side, you have the other opinion, which is he was posing a threat. He was driving at the police officers at 1,000 miles an hour. He should have complied. He was a criminal. He was an active gang member, right? No one is disagreeing that he was an angel or not in the street. I'm not saying he was innocent. He was allegedly even tied to a crime a few days prior to his death. But in that moment, that is irrelevant. In that moment, in my opinion, he did not deserve to get shot in the head. And they've actually released one of the police officers' body cam. They didn't show all of them. They should have really shown the shooter. Let's see his body cam, right? But we've got a body cam footage, and information from the trial has now given me confidence that I know for a fact he did not deserve to get shot. So look at your screen right now. This is an extract from an article. It says a helicopter and 6 police cars were involved in stopping Mr. Kaba on the night of 5th of September 2022 after the vehicle he was driving had been linked to a boot-in outside a school nearby in Brixton the previous evening, the Old Bailey heard. Mr. Kaba knew he was being followed, telling a friend, Alicia, saying, "Leash, one sec, I think there is police behind me," before he turned into Kirkstall Gardens, where Mr. Blake was inside a marked BMW. So let's stop there real quick. Mr. Blake is our killer. He is our trigger-happy police officer. I have no problems up to this point. I've got no problem with them coming to arrest him or something like that if they think he's tied to a crime. That's how it works. But what transpires afterwards is not on, in my opinion. Also, one of the things I want you to pay attention to is Mr. Blake, our trigger-happy police officer, was in the marked BMW. So he was in the marked police car. So when I show you the body cam footage, pay attention to where the shooter is going to be situated. As it says here, it says the trial hinged on the following 17 seconds, which saw the Audi reverse a short distance, hitting an unmarked car behind, then accelerate forward, reaching an estimated 12 miles per hour before colliding with the BMW and the parked Tesla. Armed officers were heard shouting, "Go, go, go," and armed police, "Get out the fucking car," as they surrounded the vehicle in footage played in court. The Audi then reversed at 8 miles per hour, hitting the unmarked Volvo behind, and was stationary as Mr. Blake pulled the trigger of his carbine less than seconds later, followed by shouts of "shots fired" and "where from?" So before I continue, what did you notice from that extract of the article? One of the key bits of information for me is the fact that Chris Kaba reached a top speed of 12 miles an hour when he was trying to get out that predicament. So when people said that he charged at the police officers, do you see how misinformation spreads? And when you see the body cam footage, you'll see he tried to get through a gap and failed. He drove for about a meter and crashed. So there was no immediate danger there. I can run faster than 8 miles an hour and 12 miles an hour. Me and my fat ass can sprint faster than that. Do you know what I'm saying? So what damage is that going to do? Yeah, apart from denting your car. The second key bit of information there, the car was stationary. So if the car was stationary and not driving, why did you pull the trigger? And when you see the body cam footage, you'll see that the car was surrounded anyway. He weren't going nowhere. He weren't going nowhere. He was finished. He tried to get out. He tried to leave. And I reckon if no one had pulled the trigger, if everyone had a bit more patience, yeah, and composure for about 5-10 more seconds, he may have just given up. He may have given up, put his hands up and whatever. His car was stationary. Mr. Kaba was not armed and had no weapons in the car. Had both hands on the steering wheel when he was shot in the head, and he died in hospital in the early hours of the next day. Prosecutor said Mr. Blake may have become angry, frustrated and annoyed, and Mr. Kaba had done nothing in the seconds before he was shot to justify his decision to pull the trigger. I completely agree with that, guys. I really do. Even us not being in the trial, us not being in court, I'm sure there's a lot more information that's the court has that we don't know. But the key bits of information here is he was unarmed, he was stationary, and when he did drive, he drove at 12 miles an hour into a car. No one was in danger. There was nowhere he could have gone. There was no way he could have caused any real cataclysmic harm to any of those officers. So let's take a look at the body cam footage.
Doors! Oh, police! Show me your hands! Show me your hands!
So as you saw there from the police footage that we saw, from the body cam footage, that police officer who we're watching, he goes up to the car. He says, hands up, get out the car and all that, whatever he says. We see Chris Kaba in the car with his hands up. He then decides to accelerate into that gap where the police officer's car is and that other car. That police officer, the car that he crashed into, that BMW, is the same car that Mr. Blake, our police officer, was allegedly situated in. Now, I didn't know this. I'm just following the news article. They claim that he fired the shot from inside the BMW. This is him driving. So that's how far he drives. He drives, and that BMW that he crashed into is where the shot's fired from. That BMW there that the shot is fired from. Where was the danger to his colleagues? Where was the danger to himself? He's completely surrounded and the car can't go anywhere. There's a white car blocking him and the BMW blocking it. Where was the danger? Could he have made a better choice in the moment to not drive the car and just get out? Yes. I agree, in that moment he probably could have put his hands up and got out the car. Yeah, that would have increased his chances of living. But look at what he decided to do. He tried to crash through the car so he could escape. Yeah, he ain't gonna try and mow down a police officer. He's finished after that. They know who he is. He clearly tried to go through that gap and failed. He failed to go through that gap between the BMW and that white car. Then the police officer decided, in that moment, he posed such a threat to him and his colleagues, even though he was protected inside a BMW, to then shoot through the window when he was stationary. So he's got a clear shot, he's stationary, boom, shot him in the head, he dies a day later. And this is the bit that pisses me off the most. Have a look at this part of the article. It says, no police officer is above the law, but we have been clear that the system holding police to account is broken, Sir Mark said. I worry about the lack of support officers face for doing their best, but most of all, I worry for the public. The more we crush the spirit of good officers, the less they can fight crime that risks London becoming less safe. Conservative leadership hopeful Robert Jenrick called Mr. Blake a hero, adding that his prosecution was wrong. The ordeal Mr. Blake has gone through is unthinkable. We must back our brave police officers and not drag them through the courts for making split-second decisions. Guys, it's quotes like that are really, really getting under my skin. Why are they labeling him not just a hero, but why are they painting him out to be the victim? Oh, the court system's broken. How many police officers have been to jail for murder for shooting people in this country? Zero. So if the system was so broken against holding police accountable, why has no one been admitted for murder then? Not one police officer has been actually convicted of murder. Why are you painting him out to be the victim? It's not true. And that split-second decision that he decided to make took the life of a son, of a brother. I think he had a kid, of a father. Yeah? He was only like early 20s. He was young. He did not deserve to die like that. And I don't agree with people who think this is justified. I think if you're going to clear him of murder, let's say it's a split-second decision. Let's factor in everything. It's a split-second decision. He was driving the car. He was linked to a shooting the day before. At best, at absolute best, the police officer should get manslaughter. At least. Because the facts in the moment, he was unarmed. He was stationary. His hands were both on the wheel. You can't even say that one of his hands was, you know how they do it? You know how they make up lies, the officers. They go, yeah, one of his hands, he looked like he was reaching for something. No, you can't even say that. And then obviously you've got all his colleagues, all his police officers with a blue wall of silence defending him, saying, yeah, if it wasn't him, I was prepared to shoot in 1 second afterwards. And another officer said, yeah, if it wasn't him, I was going to shoot in a second afterwards as well. Bro, that's just that blue wall of silence. That's a no snitching policy that police officers have amongst themselves. It's ridiculous. I don't think this is justified. I think this is a misjustice. Now we've got friends and family of Chris Kaba who are going to feel like they haven't got any closure. They're going to have to continue that long fight to get justice. Now, I'm very disappointed in the jury here. What information did they see to reach this conclusion? All right, he may not have gone out with the premeditation of shooting him, but in that moment he did. This is what I'm saying. If it's not murder, it should be manslaughter. Why was he not being tried for that? Or maybe he was, I don't know. But as far as I'm aware, he's been cleared of murder. In fact, let me double check this right now while I'm filming. So yeah, I just had a look and he's just been cleared of murder. And not only that, he's actually being reinstated. He was suspended, I'm assuming probably with pay, while he was waiting for the trial. And now he's going to be reinstated. That's it. He just goes back to his life. He can shoot someone in our community, in my opinion, unjustified, unlawfully, and you can go about your business. This country has not convicted one on-duty police officer for an M. Not one. It's insane. But guys, let me know your thoughts. Rest in peace to Chris Kaba. I don't think this is fair. I don't think this is fair at all. My prayers go out to the friends and family. I really hope you can continue the long fight and get some sort of justice here, but I just don't see it because this system is flawed. Yeah, but there's always hope. So rest in peace, and I'll see you guys at the next video. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay vigilant. Peace.